Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adhia says GST will need a complete overhaul to reduce burden on small and medium businesses. Feels that the system will take a year to stabilize. Amid opposition's protests, Rajasthan Home Minister Gulab Kataria tables Criminals Laws Amendment Bill in Assembly. Bill seeks to protect public servants from being investigated without government sanction. Filing of nominations for Himachal Pradesh Assembly election ends. Papers to be scrutinized tomorrow. Himachal Pradesh to have single-phase polls on November 9th in all 68 Assembly constituencies. And Shinzo Abe's ruling coalition wins clear majority with more than two-thirds of Japan's parliament's 465 seats, likely to use the mandate to push for overhauls to his country's defense strategy. A decision by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to call a snap election has paid off. Abe's ruling coalition has won a clear majority with more than two-thirds of the parliament's 465 seats. The win puts him on course to be the post-war Japan's longest ever serving Prime Minister, and Abe is expected to use his new mandate to push for overhauls to the country's defense strategy. Here's a report.
Shinzo Abe speaking at an after confirmation that his ruling bloc had gained a big win on Sunday's lower house election. Outlining what will be the focus of his next term, Abe said that he will be speaking with US President Donald Trump on issues surrounding North Korea during his visit to Japan in November.
少子高齢化、緊迫する北朝鮮情勢、まさに国難とも呼ぶべき事態に対して、総理大臣としてこの国の舵取りを担う重責を The
Japanese Prime Minister had called an early election for a greater mandate to deal with several pressing issues, including the growing threat from Pyongyang, which has fired missiles over Japan in recent months. His ruling coalition has retained a two-thirds majority in parliament, making way for Abe to amend Japan's post-war pacifist constitution. Abe has previously called for the existence of the country's armed forces to be formalized, a controversial move which he says is needed to strengthen Japan's defense, but which critics say is a step towards remilitarization and will need immense public support. But reactions on the street are mixed.
安倍政権を倒して何がしたいのかというのが分からなかったので、じゃあ自分たちだったら何ができるのかっていうのをちゃんと教えてほしいなと思いました。
日本のリーダーとしてはちょっとやり方は汚いんじゃないのかなとか思ったりする点はありましたかね。問題が多くありすぎたので、とりあえず総理は変わった方がいいんじゃないのかなっていうのはありますね。
Soon after the results came in, US President Trump and other leaders called on Abe to congratulate him. China too reacted, saying that it was looking forward to continue the relationship.
中方重视发展中日关系，希望日方恪守中日4个政治文件和4点原则共识，采取实质行动，推动两国关系稳定改善。同时，我们希望日方能够继续走和平发展道路。
Abe's election call was highly tactical, coming at a time when the opposition was in disarray and his personal popularity ratings was beginning to pick up after months in the doldrums. The Conservative Party of Hope, launched by Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike, splintered the traditional opposition but failed to make much of a dent in victory. All eyes will now be on Abe and how he revises a constitution clause which renounces war, known as Article 9, to formally recognize Japan's military. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, joining me for a chat now to talk about this is strategic analyst KP Nyah. Mr. Nyah, welcome and thank you for joining me on the program. You know, what does this landslide win for Shinzo Abe mean for Japan?
For a Japanese election, this is as historic as it gets. As you mentioned, he has the potential to be Japan's longest serving Prime Minister ever. That in itself is historic. But more than that, it's the amendment to the constitution that's on the cards, making Japan no longer a pacifist country in terms of the armed forces. But what every democracy must note is that in spite of having a steamroller majority, Prime Minister Abe says that he will involve everybody. He will not follow the ruling party route alone. In other words, in amending the constitution, he wants to bring in everybody. He wants a consensus,
right,
which is remarkable as far as democracy is concerned. But that may also be because under Japanese rules, it is not enough for the two houses of parliament to pass constitution amendment by 2/3 majority. It has to go to a referendum. So ultimately, it is the voice of the people of Japan which will prevail.
Which rules supreme. You know, as far as India-Japan ties are concerned, how do you see it going forward now that Abe has, retained his prime ministership?
Well, we backed the right horse. The relationship has been going very well. The projects that have been in the pipeline, which got slightly stalled because of the problems of land acquisition and all that, now there is the potential for them to go ahead, provided we also show the will and the determination to pursue Indo-Japanese economic relations as a top priority. I am very hopeful about it, and I think Abe's win is a very good augury for India-Japan relations.
And what about Japan's other troublesome neighbor, North Korea, and also the larger picture being China? What do you see happening on that front?
Well, this gives Abe the mandate to do what he wants on North Korea. But the problem is, how do you bring in the other players, you know? I mean, when you have a US president who tweets policy instead of following the conventional methods, it limits Abe's choices. Let's see what happens when he goes to Washington in November. Maybe something will evolve.
All right, we'll have to leave it at that then. Thank you so much, Mr. KP Nyah, for joining me on the program, putting things into perspective for us. Well, moving on now, months after the rollout of the goods and services tax regime, Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adhia said that a rejig may be required in the rate structure to reduce the burden on small and medium businesses. Adhia also said that the GST system will take a year to stabilize. Here's a detailed report. Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adhia on Sunday accepted that the GST scheme has loopholes that need correction. He said a complete overhaul is required. It is possible that some items in the same chapter are divided. There is a need to harmonize items chapter-wise. If we bring down the burden on small and medium businesses and on the common man, there will be a better compliance. Experts say since its introduction, the new indirect tax has shown many teething troubles and compliance issues.
90% लोग वो हैं जिनकी टर्नओवर 1.5 करोड़ से कम है, तो इसका मतलब वो एक्साइज ड्यूटी में कवर नहीं है। अब उन सब 90% के ऊपर एक तरह से आपने एक्साइज ड्यूटी लगा दिया क्योंकि उनका रेट 18% हो गया है। अब इनके लिए इनकी सबकी एग्जिस्टेंस अपने आप में रिस्क में आ गई है, चैलेंज आ गया है, तो इस इशू को कहीं ना कहीं पहले एड्रेस करना चाहिए था।
India's economic growth plunged to a 13-quarter low of 5.7% in the April-June quarter this fiscal as the manufacturing sector received a debilitating blow from pre-goods and services tax destocking by jittery businesses. Opposition parties blamed the poor implementation of the GST that amalgamates more than a dozen central and state levies like excise duty, service tax and VAT.
The government lacks clarity on this issue. All small and medium enterprises have been affected badly after GST rollout, and lakhs of people have lost their jobs and livelihood. What government is going to do? What are the corrective measures? Whether government has clarity on these issues, nobody knows.
The GST Council has reworked various provisions of the new indirect tax regime to make it more industry-friendly. The turnover threshold for composition scheme has been hiked to 1 crore rupees from 75 lakh rupees. Small businesses with 1.5 crore rupees turnover have been allowed to file returns and pay taxes quarterly as against monthly earlier. Also, the GST Council has rationalized rates on over 100 commodities and made the refund process easier for exporters. The 23rd meeting of the GST Council, chaired by Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley and with representatives of all states, will be held in Guwahati on November 10. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha Television. The Rajasthan government is facing protests for tabling the Criminal Amendment Bill in the State Assembly. The bill seeks to replace a September ordinance that was widely criticised for protecting public servants, judges and magistrates. Amid opposition's protests on Monday, Rajasthan Home Minister Gulab Chand Kataria tabled the Criminals Laws Amendment Bill in the State Assembly. The bill seeks to replace the ordinance promulgated on the 7th of September. It was widely criticised for protecting serving and former judges, magistrates and public servants from being investigated without the state government's sanction. Opposing the bill, Congress and National People's Party MLAs staged a walkout. Protesting leaders Sachin Pilot and others were briefly detained by the police.
भाई इस काले कानून के खिलाफ सदन के अंदर हमारे सारे विधायकों ने विरोध किया है। हम इस कानून को पास होने नहीं देंगे। सड़क पर हम पैदल मार्च निकालकर शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से गवर्नर साहब के यहाँ जा रहे थे। हमको पुलिस ने अरेस्ट किया है। ये तानाशाही सरकार है। ये विरोध बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते और इस काले कानून के माध्यम से जो प्रजातंत्र का गला घोटा जा रहा है उसको बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे।
The Rajasthan government has said there is nothing new and controversial in the bill.
ये विपक्ष जिस तरीके से प्रचारित कर रहा है, ये प्रावधान तो पहले ही है कि बिना सरकार की अनुमति के कोई भी केस चलाया नहीं जा सकता। गजेटेड ऑफिसर पहले से ही है, तो उसमें कौन सा मतलब नई बात है।
The state government is also facing opposition from two of its MLAs, Ghanshyam Tiwari and Narpat Singh Rajvi.
किसी को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए इस प्रकार का ड्रैकोनियन बिल नहीं लाना चाहिए। अभी विधायक दल की बैठक है, मैं उसमें भी इस विषय को उठाऊंगा।
Law Minister PP Chaudhary also defended the BJP government on the provisions of the bill.
ये कानून जो लाया जा रहा है राजस्थान सरकार के द्वारा बिल्कुल परफेक्ट कानून है, बैलेंस कानून है। मीडिया का भी ध्यान रखा गया है और इंडिविजुअल के राइट का भी ध्यान रखा गया है। दोनों को बहुत अच्छी तरह से बैलेंस किया गया है।
It's an order to muscle the press. The BJP claims that they want to give a transparent government, and by this order you want to cover up everything.
The Editors Guild of India has also asked the Rajasthan government to withdraw the bill.
इतना ड्रैकोनियन, इतना खतरनाक कानून ऑर्डिनेंस के रूप में लाना, मुझे लगता है कि किसी भी सभ्य समाज में पहले कभी नहीं देखा गया है। एक अजीब सी सरकार की प्रवृत्ति इसमें झलकती है, जो कि चाहता है कि फिर से हिटलर का शासन वहां पे स्थापित हो।
A writ petition has been filed in the Rajasthan High Court against the bill. It contends that the ordinance is in contravention of fundamental rights. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television. On his campaign visit to poll-bound Gujarat, Rahul Gandhi criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi for failing to provide jobs to the youth in the state. Rahul Gandhi was accompanied by OBC leader Alpesh Thakur, who joined the party last week. Here's more.
A day after Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated a number of developmental schemes in Gujarat, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi arrived in state capital Gandhinagar for campaigning. He was joined by OBC leader Alpesh Thakur on the stage, who joined the Congress on Saturday.
किसी न किसी कारण पूरा का पूरा प्रदेश आंदोलन में लगा हुआ है। ये क्यों हो रहा है, इसका एक ही जवाब है कि पिछले 22 सालों में गुजरात की जनता की सरकार नहीं चली है। गुजरात में 5-10 उद्योगपतियों की सरकार चली है।
The fight for Gujarat is heating up, with both the BJP and the Congress going all out to woo the state's youth leaders. Narendra Patel, activist leader of Hardik Patel-led Patidar Anamat Andolan Samiti, claimed he was offered 1 crore rupees to join the BJP, while Nikhil Savani, a Patidar leader who recently joined the BJP, quit the party over the allegations.
મને 10 લાખ રૂપિયા વરુણભાઈએ રોકડા આપ્યા. આવતીકાલે ટાગોર હોલ કે ટાઉન હોલમાં કંઈક ભાજપનું ફંક્શન છે, તે મારે જવાનું અને કાલે બીજા 90 લાખ રૂપિયા તમને રોકડા મળી જશે. એટલે હું ચોંકી ગયો. મારી મજબૂરી હતી કે આ લોકોએ તરત પ્રેસ મીડિયા બોલાવી દીધું અને મને વચ્ચે બેસાડી પ્રેસ कराई મારા જોડે બોલાવરાયું.
झूठा आरोप है. राहुल गांधी के सभा से पहले ये कांग्रेस के षड्यंत्र से भाई नरेंद्र पटेल ने फैब्रिकेटेड ड्रामा किया है.
In an effort to court the state's powerful community, along with the Dalits and OBCs, the Congress has extended an open invitation to Hardik Patel to join the party. Meanwhile, the Samajwadi Party has also announced that it will contest on 5 seats and will support the Congress on the rest. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh today said that the government will hold a sustained dialogue to find a solution to the Kashmir issue. Addressing a press conference, he said former director of the Intelligence Bureau, Dineshwar Sharma, will be the central representative to initiate the dialogue with all stakeholders in Jammu and Kashmir. Rajnath Singh said Sharma, a 1979 batch retired officer of the Indian Police Service, will decide whom he wants to hold talks with. Rajnath Singh also clarified that the initiative was taken as per Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Independence Day address.
और श्री दिनेश्वर शर्मा जम्मू कश्मीर के इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस और व्यक्तियों के साथ बातचीत प्रारंभ करेंगे और सस्टेन्ड इंटरेक्शन और डायलॉग के माध्यम से उनकी लेजिटिमेट एस्पिरेशंस को समझेंगे. और इसमें समाज के सभी वर्गों के साथ साथ वह कश्मीर, जम्मू कश्मीर के यूथ की एस्पिरेशंस को समझने पर भी खास तवज्जो देंगे.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The story we thought we knew. The story of magnificence. The story of bloody battles. Of those who ruled and those who left their footprints. The story charting the course of our past. Talking history on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on Monday opened the new Chancery complex of the Indian High Commission in Dhaka. The huge complex was opened at Dhaka's Baridhara Diplomatic Enclave. The High Commission was previously operating from a house in Gulshan area of the city. During the ceremony, she also inaugurated 15 development projects of Bangladesh being funded by India. Speaking on the occasion, Swaraj said India's ties with Bangladesh are at an all-time high and the relationship has gone beyond a strategic partnership. Bangladesh Foreign Minister A.H. Mahmood Ali and Health Minister Mohammad Naseem were also present at the ceremony. On Sunday, India said the Rohingya refugees who have poured into Bangladesh must be taken back by Myanmar from where they have been displaced. The statement backing Dhaka's stance was made by External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj after she co-chaired the 4th JCC meet with her Bangladeshi counterpart in Dhaka. The two nations also decided to deepen their engagement on economic and strategic levels, with India committing to increase development assistance to Bangladesh in the coming days.
The regional situation arising out in the aftermath of Rohingya exodus from Myanmar was the key issue discussed during the first day of External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's 2-day visit to Bangladesh. India expressed its deep concern at the spate of violence in Myanmar's Rakhine state and, backing Dhaka's stance, stressed that normalcy will be restored only with the return of displaced persons. This comes as close to 6 lakh minority Rohingya Muslims have fled to Bangladesh since late August to escape violence in Myanmar's Rakhine state, where the army has launched a crackdown against militants.
That India is deeply concerned at the situation in Rakhine state of Myanmar. We have urged that the situation be handled with restraint, keeping in mind the welfare of the population. Friends, it is clear that normalcy will only be restored with the return of the displaced persons to Rakhine State.
Swaraj made the statement after co-chairing the 4th meeting of the Joint Consultative Commission (JCC) with her Bangladeshi counterpart A.H. Mahmood Ali in Dhaka on Sunday. However, Swaraj did not mention the word Rohingya, a term disputed by Myanmar. Myanmar doesn't recognize Rohingya as an ethnic group and insists that they are Bangladeshi migrants living illegally in the country. Bangladesh has sought India's sustained pressures on Myanmar for its resolution.
In our view, the only long-term solution to the situation in Rakhine State is rapid socio-economic and infrastructure development that would have a positive impact on all the communities living in the state.
The Rohingya issue was also discussed during Sushma's call on Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. She also met with Bangladesh Nationalist Party leader Khalida Zia and the leader of the opposition Roshan Ershad on Sunday night. In the meeting, India expressed its desire to see a continued democratic process in Bangladesh. Both the countries also discussed on jointly combating terrorism and stop radicalization of youth in South Asia.
We are both determined to protect our societies from the threat of ideologies of hate, violence and terror by adopting a zero-tolerance policy and a comprehensive approach in fighting violent extremism and terrorism at all levels.
During the visit, New Delhi also reaffirmed its status as a reliable development partner of Dhaka. The electricity being supplied to Bangladesh will be doubled in future. There are more plans for synergy in the petroleum sector as well.
We have already agreed on the construction of a petroleum products pipeline that will link Siliguri with Parvatipur for the benefit of the people of northwestern Bangladesh as a grant-in-aid project.
India also for the first time announced 5 years multiple entry visas for those Bangladeshi citizens who took part in war against Pakistan that led to the creation of Bangladesh.
The cooperation and camaraderie between our forces is a matter of pride. In order to honor your brave Mukti Jodhas, we are offering 5-year multiple entry visa and are working on a scheme for their medical treatment in India.
This is Sushma Swaraj's second visit to Bangladesh and comes after the recent trip of Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, during which India operationalized a $4.5 billion line of credit to Bangladesh for development projects. With inputs from Akhilesh Suman, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani will arrive in Delhi on Tuesday on a day-long working visit. In the wake of the continued suicide terror attacks, Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani, who will hold detailed discussions on ensuring safety for development projects in the landlocked Central Asian country. Ghani will hold one-on-one and delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on mutual regional and global issues. MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that during the visit of Afghan President Ashraf Ghani, both sides will have the opportunity to review the entire gamut of multifaceted bilateral strategic partnership, including the new development partnership, hold consultations and coordinate on furthering the shared objective of promoting peace, security, stability and prosperity in Afghanistan and efforts to combat the menace of terrorism. The interaction between Afghanistan and India has increased after US President Donald Trump announced his South Asia policy, giving India some more primacy in comparison to Afghanistan in the future. Well, here's a roundup of some more news from across the country and nationwide. Filing of nominations in the Himachal Pradesh Assembly elections ended today. The papers will be scrutinized tomorrow. The last day to withdrawal is the 26th of October. The state will go for single-phase polls on November 9th in all the 68 assembly constituencies. Government de-affiliated close to 400 ITIs after inspections found they lacked requisite infrastructure and trainers. The move comes after the government started monitoring the ITIs in order to maintain quality standards after introducing voluntary self-grading by the institutes. Sidelined AIADMK leader TTV Dinakaran announced that he will contest the RK Nagar bypoll in Chennai. Earlier, the Election Commission ordered the Tamil Nadu government to conduct the bypoll before December 31st. Former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha represented RK Nagar for 2 terms before her death in December last year. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has deferred the hearing on AIADMK to leave Symbol Rao till October 30th. Pakistan Rangers violated the ceasefire 105 times along the international border in Jammu and Kashmir in the first 9 months of the year. As per BSF official, Rangers hit over 30 to 40 hamlets close to nearly 200 kilometers long IB with mortar bombs and heavy weapons in Jammu, Samba and Kathua districts, and also targeted Arnia town in Jammu district heavily. Well, let's shift focus now and bring you up to speed with some news from around the world in Global Buzz. Pakistani Finance Minister Ishaq Dar appeared before an anti-corruption court in Islamabad in the Panama Papers scandal for the 7th time on Monday. The anti-corruption watchdog National Accountability Bureau prosecution presented 2 new witnesses against Dar in today's hearing. The Islamic State group killed 116 people suspected of collaborating with the Syrian regime in Al-Qaryatian this month before losing the government to government forces. A monitor on Monday said that in over 20 days, Islamic State executed the civilians in reprisal killings, accusing them of collaboration with regime forces. Police covered the body of a girl child which they say is most likely of 3-year-old Indian girl who went missing 2 weeks ago when her foster father reportedly sent her outside alone late in the night as punishment for not finishing her milk. Sharon Matthews, who had limited verbal communication skills, was last seen outside her family's backyard in Richardson on October 7th. The Richardson police on Sunday announced that they discovered the remains of a child in a tunnel beneath a road, expressing apprehension that it was most likely of Matthews. Typhoon Lan made landfall in Japan on Monday, setting off landslides and flooding. At least 3 people were killed, hundreds of flights were cancelled and train services were disrupted in the wake of Lan. However, Lan had weakened to a Category 2 storm, sideswiping Tokyo after it had powered northern part of Japan for days as an intense Category 4 storm. A suicide bomber killed 13 people in Maiduguri, Nigeria on Sunday. The attack struck the city's Muna garage area, in which 5 people were also injured. According to reports, 3 female suicide bombers carried out the attack. The attack came in over a month as the conflict with Boko Haram stretches into its 9th year. And here's some sports news now, where Mumbai batsman Shreyas Iyer and Hyderabad pacer Mohammad Swaraj were 2 new faces picked in the Indian T20 squad announced on Monday for the 3 T20 match series against New Zealand. Ashish Nehra has been picked for the first match, which will be played in Delhi's Firozshah Kotla on November 1st, and it is expected to be his farewell game. Chief Selector MSK Prasad said that Shreyas Iyer has been rewarded for his current form. In his last 10 innings, Iyer has scored 2 centuries and 3 50s, out of which 2 scores were above 80s. The T20 squad includes skipper Virat Kohli, Shikhar Dhawan, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Manish Pandey, Shreyas Iyer, Dinesh Karthik, MS Dhoni, Hardik Pandya, Akshar Patel, Yuzvendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj and Ashish Nehra. Well, that's it on this newscast. Good night.